Okay, today, by popular request, we're going to be doing support spindling. Guest starring my Enid Ashcroft bocote and iroko Tibetan. If you're new to support spindling, I recommend starting with a Tibetan. The spin is slightly slower than with a Russian, and it's more steady and easily controlled. Okay, we're going to start by starting off without a leader. A lot of people do use leaders, but there's really no reason to. If you're new to support spindling, you will find that it's a bit easier to do it if you pre-draft your fibre. A lot of people worry about using your left or right hands. It doesn't matter, whatever's most comfortable for you. You got a good picture of this? You want to start by stabbing a wee bit of the fibre onto your spindle, draft it out, and then holding it, you need to hold it, rotate the spindle. This wraps the fibre around your spindle shaft. Once it's grabbed on a bit, you can then twist. Take it slow, don't panic. And this creates some spun yarn. The spun yarn will grab a lot easier than the fibre. And once you've got a wee bit started, you'll be able to keep going. Once you've got some, it's best to slide it down and then wind it onto the shaft further. Now, a lot of people are next concerned about how to get to the semi-continuous phase of spinning with a support spindle. Now that's where you don't need to park and draft anymore. Park and draft would be where you spin and then draft it out. And a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing it any other way. When it comes to it, once you're comfortable doing the park and draft, it just gets to the point where you spin and then let it go. The yarn itself will keep the spindle going. You don't need to worry about it falling over. And even if it does fall over, when it runs out of spin, eventually, that's the worst that's going to happen. You shouldn't worry about it. You will eventually get into the rhythm of what's best with your spindle. Okay. After you've got a bit of yarn built up, you'll want to move it down onto a formal cop. I'll lock it, we're going to use a method called butterflying it off. You lock it onto your middle finger, and then I like to hook it round for a bit of tension. And then you just make a figure of 8 between your thumb and pinky. And when you do it at a speed, it looks like you're butterflying. Then the loose fibre that you originally put on has enough give on it that you can slide it down your shaft. And then wind it on. It is best to use the traditional cop method of being a kind of egg shape, because it means you do have the option of adding a lock wrap around the bottom of the egg shape when you get a larger cop size. And the last thing we're going to do is temporary cops. Why would you do a temporary cop? A lot of people ask this, and it's because when you're doing it at speed, when you're comfortable with it, you can just stop and flick. But when you do that, the fibre that you wrap on is quite loosely wrapped. When you wrap it onto a permanent cop down the bottom, it's much more tightly wrapped, and you can fit much more fibre onto your spindle. There you go.